each band needs, it's an old concept, but each band needs something like a unique selling point. They need something that sets them apart from all the other bands, because there is a flood of bands out there. If you just say, oh, I sound like that other band from Mali, or I sound like, you know, I'm also doing Scottish folk, you need something a little bit special to capture the attention, to get the media to write about you. You need something special these days to still capture them, without creating some fake story, is my opinion. You know, it's the world music industry. It's about authenticity, it's about real musicians doing real things. It's not the pop music industry where you have scripted characters and you know, 20 people writing one song and fake personas. It needs to be, you know, it needs to be you. It needs to be your authentic music and your character, and then it will work.
You need to be able to communicate with the audience. It's not about language, it's about getting your music across. If you perform and you're looking at the floor, that doesn't help. That isn't gonna, you could be the best band, you could be playing the best music, but you also have to be able to perform live if you want to tour.
To attract attention from medias and for audiences, you have to have different kind of promotion materials. To make a promoter interested, it's very, very important that he or I get the opportunity to get an idea on how is the artist on the stage. Best is if I or my colleagues get a chance to see the band performing live, but in case not, then well cut but honest live footage is very, very, very giving and makes it so much easier for me to decide whether I can book this band or not.
I have to see a live video, for example. So I would advise African artists, upcoming artists, to make their own showcase. Everybody wants to play here in Womex or whatever showcase festival, but you can make your own showcase on YouTube. So if you are a group from Ghana and you play in Ghana, film it and look for a good filmer and good sound and make a YouTube film to promote yourself. That's very important.
Moi, je crois qu'il est important d'avoir des vidéos, mais des vidéos de scène, parce que pour convaincre tous les professionnels qui peuvent être ici au Womex, tous les grands festivals qui sont ici, Roskilde et tout ça, si les gens ne voient pas le résultat scénique, ils ne vont pas être intéressés, parce qu'on sait très très bien qu'un clip, on peut faire des merveilleuses images, tout ce qu'on peut mettre dans un clip actuellement, et que ça ne va pas traduire ce que la personne va réellement donner sur scène. Donc effectivement, les images sont très importantes, le visuel est très important en termes de promotion, mais pour convaincre le professionnel d'acheter le concert, il faudra donner de bonnes images de scène.
Ce qui est extrêmement important, ce sont les vidéos. Et ça, c'est vraiment quelque chose qui est absolument fondamental dans le processus de sélection. Si le jury ne vous a jamais vu, votre musique les interpelle, la première chose qu'il va vouloir voir, c'est une vidéo en live. Et une vidéo qui n'a pas forcément besoin d'être une vidéo faite avec des moyens techniques extrêmement développés, mais une vidéo qui dit en 5 minutes, voilà ce qu'on fait sur scène et c'est nous sur scène. Et ça, c'est extrêmement important, avec une qualité de son à peu près correcte. C'est extrêmement important parce qu'il faut attirer l'attention du jury en peu de temps et c'est une carte de visite, la meilleure carte de visite qu'on puisse faire. Bon, on peut effectivement faire des belles biographies, etc. C'est important de donner des informations sur l'histoire du groupe. Mais un petit bout de vidéo live, on dit 20 fois plus que tout le reste.
I think you have to have a CD, even if it's an older one. If you've never played the North American market, it's okay to have the older one. But then you also have to be really sure that you have that music out and available. Via the internet is a big thing, and whether or not you can buy it online or you can buy it in a store, of course that's great if you have distribution set up with your label in the North American market. Many radio stations don't want to interview an artist unless they know that their music is available easily online or in a local CD store if there's still a CD store left in that city.
I mean, this is always a question if it's really necessary to have a CD on the market that is available in shops, or if you can do it digitally, or what we are doing most of the time is that we are just manufacturing CDs to have them for merchandise available. Because most of the CDs nowadays, you're going to sell them on shows and not in the shops anymore. I mean, once you're known, then it's a different story. But if you're starting, then it's not really necessary. So you have the downloads, and then like we have Griot Publishing, for example, as well, our colleague, and he is offering to manufacture for very little money a CD that you can just take on tour. The CD has a label code, which is important to be played on the radio. So you have all that available when you tour, and then you can also make some extra money through merchandise at the shows, because in the beginning the budgets are so low that you cannot expect to get or to earn big money to bring home. So you must just try everything else and like do merchandise, maybe t-shirts as well, etc., etc.
Si tu n'as pas d'album, s'il n'y a pas de musique enregistrée qui circule, bon bah tu n'existes que quand tu te représentes en concert, quoi. Donc c'est-à-dire c'est très faible. Les rappeurs ils le savent très bien, eux ils font une mixtape, un album qui donne, ils commencent par donner, ils enregistrent, ils donnent sur internet. Ils donnent la musique, même des rappeurs connus, quoi. Le truc qui est génial aujourd'hui, c'est quand même Internet permet potentiellement de diffuser, de faire écouter la musique au monde entier. C'est quand même incroyable. Je veux dire, avant il y avait des barrières qui étaient beaucoup plus sérieuses. C'est-à-dire, bah oui, il fallait avoir un producteur, aller en studio, ça coûtait de l'argent, blabla, et fabriquer un disque qui allait être mis dans des magasins. Et il y avait beaucoup de barrières avant de pouvoir faire diffuser. Ou les radios, etc. Aujourd'hui, tu enregistres, tu produis, tu peux produire beaucoup moins cher avec l'équipement, home studio, etc. Et tu peux la mettre toi-même sur Internet, et donc potentiellement le monde entier peut l'écouter quand même. C'est quand même génial. Les gros défauts, c'est d'insister trop, c'est-à-dire c'est vrai que c'est pas facile quand c'est terrible même quand tu es artiste, musicien, d'essayer de faire écouter ta musique à des maisons de disques ou à des radios. Il y a un côté où tu as l'impression que les gens ne répondent pas, que c'est insupportable, etc. Bon. Et tu peux être sollicité et trop sollicité par la même personne qui peut t'envoyer un mail, et puis un deuxième, puis un troisième, et dire mais vous répondez, et s'énerver. Ça peut être un défaut en fait.
C'est sûr, quand on reçoit un dossier, on veut qu'il soit le plus complet possible pour cerner au maximum où est rendu l'artiste, ce qu'il fait. Donc quand je parle de dossier, c'est les biographies, les images professionnelles, c'est très important. D'avoir une question d'image, de travailler l'image du groupe. C'est ce qui est aussi accroche et accrocheur pour nous. Bien sûr, avoir que ce soit un EP ou un album qui permet vraiment d'avoir un aperçu de l'ensemble de la proposition. Et aussi le dossier de presse. C'est sûr que d'avoir un dossier de presse bien construit qui nous permet de voir où est rendu le groupe, qu'est-ce qui a été écrit sur eux, ce qui s'est passé, avoir un historique du groupe, ça c'est vraiment très important.
If you are a young artist from Africa and you want to perform at Roskilde Festival, you will have to get in contact with me. You can do that by visiting our website, and on our website you can find information on how to get in contact with the booking committee. Then you send an email to the web address that you find on the website, and I literally get hundreds of these mails. So you have to secure that the first contact is of high quality and high value. It's not a matter of having a beautiful lady on the cover or anything like that. You have to convince me that you are a serious artist that it's worth spending the next 5 minutes on checking on web for information. So if you at the same email can send me some links for music, live footage, contact details, reviews from former performances on local festivals, or even if you had the luck to perform also abroad, this is also something that can make me curious, because it's important to kind of wake up my curiosity.
If a band puts in a demo, the main thing is don't send lots and lots of information. There is no point. We don't have time as bookers to go through that. We receive about 2,000 applications every single year, so it's a lot to get through. Send your best material and make sure it is at the top of the list. Don't send a DVD or a YouTube clip and put on it, but this isn't very good. That isn't going to help your application. You need to give me your best material.
À nos jours, tu as plusieurs manières de faire, de parler de toi. Tu as un Facebook, tu as un Twitter, tu as un Instagram, tu as un YouTube, tu as plusieurs choses dans lesquelles tu montres que tu es active. Après, c'est toujours comme la même chose. Les bookers, parfois, ils disent, voilà, cette année, vous savez faire sortir un album, donc voilà, on va faire plein de dates. L'année d'après, si ça a bien marché, on fait encore des dates, mais il faut toujours avoir une actualité.
I think the traditional media platforms like magazines and newspapers and even radio are becoming less and less important, especially for artists doing genres that are not mainstream pop genres. So to really reach audiences, wide audiences, I'm turning more towards social media tools, especially video. So YouTube and other video content can be an amazing way to spread your word. If you can come up with creative video content, that does more than perhaps anything else in helping you build an international audience for yourself. One thing that often gets overlooked by almost everybody in the industry is good old-fashioned email. Very few artists spend enough attention on building their own email lists so that they can communicate directly to their fans without having to go through third-party platforms. So at every show, I insist that my artists have email sign-up sheets, that they are managing their email list as they would manage their heart, because it's important to the lifeblood of your career to have that direct relationship with your fans.
Often I get emails, they don't even have links. These people expect me to find them on the internet just putting their name. I mean, hello? I don't have time to look for this. They don't have websites yet, they don't have YouTube channels, they don't have Facebook pages. It's, you know, you need to create the package first and work on your presentation. Even a nice PDF. You know, you can see that some people made some efforts to think about to do something.
I think that, you know, it's kind of the things you would expect. Poor presentation of materials, unprofessional, you know, presentation. Production quality can be really, really bad. Not having done their own work on social media, doing the things that they can do to reach audiences through the tools that are available to any independent artist before they're signed to a label. So basically demonstrating that they've done their homework, that they know who I am as a label and what I can do for them, and that they understand what the international market is looking for. If not them, then having a working relationship with a manager or somebody who does understand that market. So there are often artists that I'll sign, they may not personally have those tools, but they're working with somebody as a manager who does have those tools and can help them utilize those tools.
For us to be successful as a booking agent, we need a professional team in place. There needs to be harmony and understanding inside the band. Best case scenario, they already have an experienced manager, they already have a label, and they already have an album released into the market. Because without that market awareness, usually for us, it'll take 2 to 3 years to break an artist into that market. That means 2 to 3 years where the artist needs to understand that there's not going to be a lot of money. They're not going to make a loss, best case scenario, we're going to break even, but it can take, for us, it can take up to 3 years to break a band and to get that awareness in the market, for them to tour, to have the bigger festivals, to actually generate some income for everybody. And that's an investment. That's an investment from our side, because we're, you know, any time that we allocate to one artist, we're not working on another artist. So it's an investment from us, it's an investment from the artist, saying, okay, that's what it's going to take to make this dream happen. And that's often not easy to understand for an artist, for a struggling artist, which most of them are.